Greetings, people. I want to talk about what this God-fearing man thing is about, okay? Because there's certain people I've spoke to that are Christians, and the topic of fear comes up, and they said the only thing they fear is God. And I wanted to pretty much ask these type of people, well, can you define fear? It's actually very important to define fear. And there's things that people say and other people listen to, but they don't elaborate. They'll just take it at face value. But when it comes to you being told certain things, or you participating or indoctrinating yourself or polarizing to anything, you would have to define certain words carefully. If you look at the word fear, it's a very low vibrational state of being when you talk about fear. And fear, what can fear? The body can fear, right? The spirit can't fear. The spirit cannot fear. Body can feel these emotions, and your soul experiences it through the body, okay? And this fear, when you say you fear God, you don't have evidence of a physical God outside of you, yet you're fearful of a God. And then we would define the word God. And upon defining the word God, some people correlate this with Jesus, and Jesus being a man that walked this planet once upon a time. And it's not concrete evidence that Jesus walked the planet as a walking God, right? The God of the Christian Bible. So they would define this as God, which means you fear another man. And if you really look at the state of being that you agree to be in, it'll trickle down into other things you would consider things above you. Because the only reason you would fear God is because you consider this God above you. The government is above you. The religious system is above you. The education system is above you. All these things are above you, which means all these things are God. Money is above you, apparently, right? Because you go and put your money, which is your time, for an exchange of money that has no value. It's just valuable because the collective believe it to be valuable. The same way this Christian God is powerful because everybody believes it to be powerful. But see, power is an illusion. It's not really real. So when you look at a person who's in power, they're only powerful because a collective amount of people believe it to be so that person now has power. And if they have money, then that would be a reason for people to say that these people have power. All right, but really money has no value. It's just paper. What's the difference between printing up $1 bill to $100 bill? It's no difference. But the value is there because the collective believe in it. Okay? So when you say fear God, okay, I had this realization as I'm sitting there meditating. You know, there's people who pray to a God for things to happen, right? And then there's, let's say, the spiritual people, they'll change the word God to universe. So the universe, because their vibration is a certain way, they'll get granted certain things. If they do good things, then the universe rewards them. It's just another religion. And then when you see this aspect of things, I had this realization that when you're asking for these things, the one you think you're talking to is really you pleading this from, is asking this of yourself. I'm gonna make this very clear. It's like DMT. People start to look at DMT as a God molecule, right? They'll say this is the God particle that makes you experience God. When in actuality, when you ingest any type of psychoactive substances, these plants are having an experience through you, and you're observing the plants having an experience through you. If you're very aware, you'll notice that God is in all things outside of you. And the reason why you can feel this experience, like the reason why you think it's you, and it's really the plant having an experience through you, is because the plant really is you. You just think you're the body, and you are having an experience because you ingested the plant, but you really are the plant having an experience through the body. That's what I'm talking about, the conscious transfer. You'll realize this upon certain things you may be trying to engage in when you're doing certain energy work and whatnot. You are basically, whatever you think is outside happening to you is really you, because you're not the body. You think you're the body, even though you can say to yourself that you're not the body. You think you're the one experiencing it as the body. You have to realize this. You can't just like say it. You have to realize it and really know it. Of nature is God. And when you ingest these things, okay, then you're experiencing God through you having an experience in the form of this plant. When you breathe a certain way, you may activate certain chemicals in your body and you'll have altered state of consciousness, right? And this is going to be going upon concentration, a certain level of calmness and belief on top of that. And you'll have your subjective experience that's very, very real, right? And when you eat food, the reason you can't even experience a high from eating an apple from your garden is because you're already so drugged up with all the other foods that you really don't feel anything out of that. And I had this experience when I ate raw eggs. When I ate raw eggs, I felt this rush of energy. And this was me being in a fasted state for an extended period of time. I decided to eat things from my garden, and then I was exchanging, food with somebody who owned chickens. And they gave me eggs that were literally, they just came out this chicken. And they never been washed or anything. And I ate 3 eggs. I felt this surge of energy that I've never felt in my life. And it makes me aware now that when you eat food, you're supposed to get energy. But we all cook our foods, we denature our foods, change the molecular structure upon heating and, it being handled in different boxes, different hands, going through supermarkets, going through trucks, being transported to different areas. The vibration and life force of the food just goes down to the toilet. So there's a big difference between even buying a watermelon from the store than growing your own fruits. And when you cut it off the vine, it's got a fresh, complete battery life. And it's a battery life that you can actually feel. But if you fast long enough and then you eat these foods, you'll see a difference between what true energy is, even from being fasted, and then introducing a true, real chemistry into your body. You're experiencing God through you. This energy can be channeled, all right? It can be channeled. This surge of energy is not a stimulated energy that you get through like caffeine or stimulants outside of you, all right? It's sort of like the same way where when you are in harmony, your hormones work properly, you produce a certain amount of testosterone. You feel this masculine energy, right? But your mind can make you believe you're masculine. So instead of you being masculine, you act masculine, but you're really not fucking masculine. So people mistaken this, and they mistaken this energy for a gender, as if men are the only ones that can experience this masculine energy when women could too. It's just like men can experience feminine energy. It doesn't make them gay or any less of a man. But people are too stupid to understand that. Okay? And when you experience God, you're experiencing God having an experience through you. So when you're praying, you're realizing in an instant, when you're calm enough and your ego's offline, that you are really asking this of yourself, meaning that when you're praying, you're talking to yourself. But you see, the thing is, your attention is too grounded into the physical. You never heard somebody give you a story and you put yourself in their shoes? It's sort of like you had a conscious transfer. It's very easy to do it when you're doing it with yourself. If you're really, really calm, you'll notice that when you're not supposed to pray as if you're hoping for something in the future. You're supposed to pray in the now moment. And in that now moment, you'll realize that you had a conscious transfer. Whatever idea you think of things outside of you really put yourself in that state. Omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient. And you're talking to the vessel, and the cells are listening to you. So now you are to put the work here in the physical upon that ritual happening. See, the whole thing is, your cells are living, sentient little beings. When you look in the mirror, you think you're one individual, but you're actually a trillion community of cells, and you're all intact. Because viruses, bacteria, they change shape and they keep you in formation. So you are basically an idea, an information for others to see you as an individual in formation. So when you're broken and you feel disassembled and you can't put yourself together, you're just not aware of yourself. So here's the thing. When you say you're going to do something, your cells are aware that you said you're going to do something. It is up to you to not let yourself down. Because if you let yourself down, the cells are going to know you're full of shit. See, what is a cell? A cell is a basic unit of life, right? It has the ability to eat, poop, breathe. It's sentient. It even has organelles like you do. You have organs. So these are like simple little people, trillions of them. This is the world projected outside of you. Now, whenever you have access to different coordinates in this planet, you have access upon you gaining access here in the physical realm, but you would have to have access within you first. This will manifest in the form of money. It'll manifest in the form of you being able to network with different people. How in tune and in harmony are you with yourself? Even when you have diseases, it's just you having a disconnect with a certain coordinate in your body. That coordinate is a coordinate in the planet, believe it or not. And if you're not at peace or in harmony with that coordinate, everything else seems to be short wiring, because you emit one song. You're full of organs. It's like a church. You go to a church, you hear all the organs playing, but it's emitting one song. If one organ is off, the song's distorted. It's not a harmonious frequency. So when you say you're going to do something, you can only lie to yourself. You can't lie to others. You can only lie to yourself first. The way you feel, okay? Because you're not aware of yourself, and you're not aware that you are that omniscient, omnipresent outside of you God that you think you see outside of you, then your body reacts a certain way. That's why somebody outside of you, when you're in fear, somebody else tells you, hey man, calm down, relax, just breathe. And then you breathe. Why? Because your body don't know the difference between a real or fake experience. So when you are able to position yourself outside of yourself in a certain way where you become the observer, but still staying centered, it's no different than if I'm out of body. I feel that my body is asleep. I still have a connection with my body, but I'm outside my body in an out-of-body experience. There's times I told you that I've slept in certain positions where I'm uncomfortable and I'm outside my body still feeling like my neck is still tight, but I'm moving around, going about my thing. I'm just not letting it affect me, because if I let it affect me, my humanity kicks in and I just come right back in my body. A lot of people are afraid to stay out of, that they'll stay out of body. It's harder to stay out. It's easier to get back in. So you'd have to be sort of like in a calm, neutral state to not wake the body up. Because, it's sort of like you snuck out of the house. You don't want your parents to wake up. And your parents really are God. And I want to cover that part. Your parents are God, right? You notice how people follow God's laws and doctrines and the religious orders and all that. And it molds and shapes your life a certain way. But without being self-actualized, you're just basically living in fear. Fear of that God. Fear of being punished. No different than if you don't follow your parents' rules, you get punished. But here's the thing though. Your parents, even being God, they structure and shape how you live. But your parents, even though they are God, you may grow up to be a degenerate. But why? Because their influences were not positive. So your job is to be aware. And you change the programming. And upon you changing the programming, you really healing them. But you heal them not because of you changing your programming. You would have to, and even for you to change your programming, you're only doing it through forgiveness. So because you forgave your parents is why you were able to change your reality and change yourself in that awareness. But if you're not in forgiveness of your parents, then how could you truly move forward? You're holding on to something. In order for you to make space for something new, you would have to let go of something that doesn't serve you. So if you're in victim mode, that's all you project out is victim mentality, and that's all you'll get back. Your parents are not to blame. You become aware and you change it. Once you change it, now you're in control. You're in charge. You're no longer at that negative programming or at the mercy of that negative programming. It's funny because think about this. When are you truly free? Even though you break out of your parents' house, right? You become an individual now in the world. Now you're still at the mercy of religion, government. You know what I'm saying? And people who become sovereign, all right, those are the ones that claim to truly be free. But there's a lot of things that you're still at the mercy of that are still above you in order for you to live this experience. And it's not to say completely disconnect. There's also a reason why in the Bible it says you're in the world but not of it. You participate, you could do your thing in the world, but you're not attached to it. You don't associate with it. Here's the thing though. You are also healing your parents when you come here, because those are God, right? They are your God. They look after you. They treat you with unconditional love. They give you what you need, nurture you, take care of you. The same way we say God takes care of us, looks after us, and does all that fly shit. So your parents, okay, are the living manifestation of what you would look at as God, but they're in polar opposite ends. Masculine, feminine energy. They're the representation, the expression of that energy. In a physical form, it would look as a woman, and as a man, it would look like as a man. So now you would actually have the polarities there, because this world, if you didn't have polarities, you would have no experience. So you have to experience polarities. And the first thing you experience are your parents. Those are your polarities. Those are your parents. So that's why you look at God as the physical manifestation of masculine energy. The one we would see as God, the sun, the mom would be the moon. And you are the creator. You create every fucking day. The Genesis story said that the world was created in 7 days. You wake up. Here's the paradox though. The week, when does the week actually start? Does it start on a Monday or on a Sunday? See, when you go to work, the work week starts on a Sunday. But yet when you're in school and when you're doing other activities, the week starts on a Monday. The weekend is Saturday and Sunday. You have Saturday, which is a Saturn's day. Sunday technically is a day of rest, but for work purposes, the week starts on a Sunday. So Sunday would be the manifestation of the masculine, the man. Then the Monday would be the feminine. And then when you look at how creation started, you would say Adam was here first, then Eve came out the rib of Adam, right? Which I've made videos on that already. So Sunday was here first, then Monday comes, right? But then in certain instances, it's Saturday and Sunday, and then the week starts on Monday. Which one is it? Now, every day you wake up, you're creating your day. You are governing your day. You're determining whether your day is shitty or not. So you're creating every single day. And on the Sunday, what do you do as your rest day? Or on the Monday, are you following a certain schedule or are you following your schedule? Who's really in charge? This is why I say God means authority. Who is in charge of your life? In charge. Who's in charge? The conductor. Because you see, for a train, you need a conductor. Are you one of the train, the little carts on the back of the train, or are you the one in front, the conductor of that train? Because you get trained in school to be a good employee when you get older. You get trained at work to become a good employee. You train yourself in the gym to be mentally strong and disciplined. You get mentally trained to follow a system that you believe it to be true. So time. I'm going to make another video on time. Think about it. You get mentally trained to believe this reality is real, right? Including time. And I'm going to make that in the next video. But it's only structured so perfectly, mathematically structured to the T, is only because of your belief. It's like when you hear a person who believes in flat earth or a person who believes in round earth. that person will have so much research to support their flat earth claim. And in kind, the round earther will also have so much evidence and claims to support his side. And it's all based on belief. In fact, it's so much so that to the round earther, the earth will actually appear rounder, and to the flat earther, it'll appear flatter. And we use these things to convince the other that it is so. And it's nothing but a wave, a potential. That's why I said we never left this planet. The earth is whatever you want it to be. It's just like your world, your life. It's whatever you want it to be. You create your reality. You create how you want it to look, how you want it to be, including how you want others to see it if you're powerful enough to convince others to believe your claim. But we use the method of technology to, convince others. So it's based on I wouldn't even call it knowledge. It's like thinklage, because you think you know, but do you truly really know? The observer theory, right, which is basically the double slit experiment, one of the hardest things to debunk or even understand for certain people, you collapse your world into existence. There's why I was talking about when you feel broken or you feel like you can't put yourself together, you're all falling apart, or even broke. You know how they say when you don't have money, you're broke? It's lack of self-awareness. You haven't collapsed yourself into existence because you believe everything outside of you is above you. So you put your energy and attention to the things outside of you and you leave yourself empty and broken. That's why I'm going to leave this video. It does help my channel if you like my video. So like my video. Share, subscribe if you're not. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments and we will talk soon.